Alright guys, I know this video is a little late, but after playing like a gigaton of Season 2 of Airbuster, I finally had a good run and got to the top 1%. So I wanted to share that with you guys after me trying out for so many different comps, what kind of cookies you want to go and look forward to and want to roll for if you guys are starting off for a run. And before we get back into the video, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that's going to be LD Player. And just like always, you guys already know that LD Player has been the emulator of choice for me for the last 4 years of starting this YouTube channel. And actually with the new update, they did roll through for Cookie Run Kingdom inside of LDStore. If you guys do update the game through the LDStore, this allows your Cookie Run Kingdom to actually run super smooth, which you're going to be able to see through the gameplays right now. With the setting inside of LD Player, you're also able to increase the overall frame rate to all the way up to 120 FPS, which actually makes the game a lot smoother as well. Additional to that, you have a ton of different Android games that you're able to download from the Google Play Store. So of course, it does not limit you to Cookie Run Kingdom alone, but definitely going to be the emulator of choice for me, and something that I do recommend if you guys would like to play Cookie Run Kingdom on your Windows computer as well. But once again, thank you LD Player for sponsoring, and let's get back into the video. Alright, so first of all, I do want to let you guys know that Creme Brulee is gone from this season, as well as Shadow Milk and Rebel, and the cookies that we really wanted to focus on in Season 1 are gone. So it definitely has gotten a lot harder. And right now from the Pure Vanilla server, top 1% is at 261.38 seconds. This was all bugged out on the first day, but this is going to be my team and the record that has gotten me to top 1%, or to be exact, as of right now, 0.56%. Alright, so it was Burning Spice. Did not get this in the beginning and got it later down the line, but it was really mainly from Sherbet and Black Lemonade really just carrying it. And you guys are going to be able to see Range Cookie and Ambush Cookie. You can see that we had the buff where we deal extra 20% attack if the enemy has less than 50% HP. We had damage to bosses, 25%, 30% crit, invulnerability, as well as the movement speed later down the line. We got the range and ambush cookie cooldown with regular attack reduced by 1 second every single time. And then we had the 45% range and defense cookie attack speed, and attack increased equally to movement speed capped at 25%. Alright, so this was pretty much the run that I had. I would personally say there are a lot of different kind of good comps that you guys can use. There are poison comps right now, there's electric comps right now, and then there is the burning spice run as well. But I would say if you guys are able to get something like Sherbet with Black Lemonade, and then get this particular one where you have movement speed as well as the cooldown reduction every single regular attack, and the attack speed with some sort of extra damage buff, then you can actually do this run with just these two technically, because these two will be able to shred through bosses. Only thing is that you want to go and have an area attack to kill the mobs. Alright, the mobs are the ones that are going to slow you down, because technically those are the ones that you really require area damage. And that's where like having Shining Glitter, or someone like Twizzly Gummy, someone like Cherry Blossom, and Burning Spice, and things like that are going to really help out. Of course, if you have someone like Stormbringer with the extra crit and stuff like that, electric comp definitely are going to be great. But let me show you guys the run right now that I have done, and really show you guys why I chose specific cookies at the specific time and the buffs as well. All right, here we go, guys. This is going to be the run that got me from that 1.31% to the current place that I am. And you guys can see this is going to be my attack protocol as well as HP and cooldown. And here we go. So in the beginning, you're going to be able to see that I do roll the Black Lemonade and Sherbet. And I was like, dang, okay, I have to use this particular one. All right, so I went with it. And as you can see, I had Crimson Coral by herself, so it was good. And I took the movement speed in the beginning because right now from the buff that I have, we do have the movement speed already from the augment, so it was pretty good. We have a defense and range. All right, so we had Sherbet as well as Crimson Coral, so this was actually a really good one to take in the beginning. So at this point I was like, all right, I'm gonna use Sherbet as well as Black Lemonade all the way down to the very end. And luckily right there I did get Shining Glitter, a little bit more of the area damage. Right over here, I did not have any of the resets, so sadly I had to choose out of this. And I was like, do I go for the amplify buff and debuff resist, or do I go for the rare? Because I do have a custard, and possibly down the line I am able to get maybe like blackberry or something like that. So that's the reason why I did take the rare buff right over here. I did kind of think about it, and then you're gonna be able to see I'm gonna take the rare buff here. All right. So for the custard, technically, but right over here is where it kind of got screwed, because I'm like, okay, I have a custard, but Carol increases crit percentage as well as crit damage. So I'm like, I did take the rare one, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the Carol. So I decided to take the Carol here instead. All right, and you're gonna be able to see the bosses get absolutely shredded because we have both black lemonade as well as sherbet. So that's really awesome. And you guys can see right over here, I got a super lucky range and ambush cookie, cooldown with regular attack -1 second. And of course, because I have the 45% attack speed, this is actually really, really beautiful here. All right, so I did take that without thinking too much. All right, and then black lemonade got switched again, or almost got switched again. So I'm like, of course, we're not gonna do that. And then we got the movement speed kind of later, so it definitely could have been a lot faster run if we did get the movement speed. Right over here, none of these are really good, so I just went with the amplified buff, because obviously we have the black lemonade buff, we have the shining glitter buff, and also the crimson coral buff. And in this particular one, we do take the invulnerability, just because invulnerability does help out in the survivability of the cookies. And then right over here, none of these are really good. I would say Carol is going to be the best one. Sparkling does increase the crit percentage, but it is going to be limited on the healing as well. And then Black Sapphire is really for the poison team. So we went with the Carol here. All right, and then you can see right here, the reason why you want to have some area damage, because Sherbet alone is not able to go and kill these guys, especially because of the fact that a lot of them are going to be frost immune as well. You're really just focusing on the extra buff and extra damage that you get from the Bugfist and the other cookies to do the damage. And right over here, we did get the crit percentage, which also does help out in triggering that crit for the effect of black lemonade. And you can see against bosses, against a single unit, all right, Sherbet does 15 different hits, allowing you to absolutely shred them. And of course, we're gonna keep the black lemonade here. Kind of really sad that we didn't get like possibly Stormbringer, but right over here, obviously we're gonna take that damage to bosses without a doubt. That was a no-brainer right there too. Okay, so we're gonna take that, and then afterwards we are going to try and switch out the Crimson Coral, but obviously none of these guys are better than Crimson Coral, so we're gonna keep the Crimson Coral here. Kind of thought about Avocado because of the rare, but we're like, no, let's just take the Crimson. It's probably going to be a bit better. And I did actually get lucky here because of the fact that we did get the range and ambush here. We obviously do have the Sherbet, and then that is going to do a lot more damage later down the line as well. So we took the extra damage right over here. And then against the Cursor, obviously, again, it is going to be that single boss. And absolutely, you saw after that 50%, Sherbet absolutely shredded the boss. And here it's pretty easy too because of Sherbet. If you have Sherbet's cooldown, then you're probably going to be able to just absolutely shred them. And then this is where I did get Carol again because I didn't want any of these guys. And then one more time after the Bishop is where we actually got Burning Spice. So we ended with the Burning Spice. Obviously, Burning Spice is going to be a little bit better in the damage output because Burning Spice is Burning Spice. And then, of course, we do have, in case Burning Spice does die, has the invincibility for about a couple seconds before he does die, which he did, almost die. But there you guys go. 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining, and we were able to clear it. And that really did get us to that 1% because, again, we got really lucky with the start of Sherbet and Black Lemonade. And the buffs were really geared towards that Sherbet buff, which we honestly need. In order to make Sherbet work, you do need that 45% extra, attack speed, as well as the cooldown reduction and the extra damages as well. Because Sherbet alone, you're really just focusing on the buffs to do the damage, because most of the enemies are going to be immune to the frost, which honestly Sherbet is great for. But in this particular case, we're just really focusing on that single hit damage against the bosses and area damage by someone like Shining Glitter and some other cookies to deal with the mobs in between the stages. And again, guys, I do want to let you guys know of the augments that I have. I have the attack as well as the extra damage equal to 2% of attack, 10% attack speed, 20% attack speed, as well as a 30% movement speed. This is the reason why I did take the movement speed extra attack buff in the beginning because of this. And then, of course, the side effect is extra attack speed, 20%, and 10% extra attack. So this does help me in dealing a little bit more damage, as well as these two are going to be really, really good. All right, and then, of course, the protocols are going to help out, but really, it just depends on if you get the good cookies, as well as the bug fix effect. I actually did pull all of the poison team ones, but I had to just give it up because of the fact that in the end, you guys can see right over here, I had the Black Sapphire, Prune Juice, and the Royal Margarine, but none of the bug fix effects were literally for the damage over time. Like, I did not get any periodic damage buff that I wanted, and if I did, I think I would have gotten a lot better score, but didn't get it. So you can see, even though you hit all the teams, if you don't get the good stats or the buffs, it doesn't matter. All right, another really good one that you can use is going to be Star Coral. If you start out with Star Coral and someone like Black Lemonade, Star Coral with Shining Glitter, Star Coral with any of the cookies that are going to focus on crit as well, then Star Coral is a great AoE damage dealer actually as a support. Also does have a very, very good offensive buffs as well. So Star Coral is another great one to start with. Black Lemonade is good, but you definitely want to use it with somebody who is actually able to do damage. That's the reason why Sherbet is also really, really good. Shining Glitter is not too bad. Burning Spice is also really, really good. Someone like Royal Margarine does work out in the beginning as well, but you can see most of the Black Lemonade that I do have is going to be paired up with someone like Sherbet. All right, and then of course Star Coral, you know, would like to be with some other cookies like Black Lemonade and Twizzy Gummy too. But in the end, the one that got me to the end is going to be Sherbet with Black Lemonade. Again, the Elixir comp is going to be good, but does require you to have crit damage, and also focusing on that extra damage to bosses and things like that. Burning Spice is actually really, really good if you are able to get those buffs towards the charged cookies, as well as doing extra damage, movement speed, and stuff like that. I would say Sherbet and Black Lemonade works really, really well if you do get something like what I did. You also can go with the Poison team if you guys do get the periodic damage or damage over time buffs. But honestly, you have to get something like Royal Margarine, Prune Juice, and Black Sapphire, or, you know, Matcha in there as well. Poison Mushroom is okay, but I don't think Poison Mushroom is that great compared to these guys. But again, in the end, Arrow Buster is all luck, and it can be definitely stressful. I literally had to use like 50 tickets to get that one run for this video, because I didn't want to just say, hey, use these cookies without having real proof, right? So hopefully this video does help out, and good luck to you guys, because I wasted at least, like, I think close to maybe 20,000 crystals trying to just utilize my tickets to the max. But man, this was a stressful one. Season 2 is definitely stressful, but good luck with it. And also let me know down in the comments below what team you guys were able to use to reach top 1% for your specific server. I'm in Pure Vanilla, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for watching.